Hey guys, Kev here, and I have some first impressions to do for you. So first up, I just want to mention I got new studio lighting, which I thought was going to help. I got ones with like diffuser covers. They're like umbrella studio lights, and then they have a diffuser sheet that goes over top. Apparently that doesn't do anything because you can see this giant freaking spot right here. So I don't really understand what I'm doing wrong or what. I'm trying to put it above and hang it down, but not too close. And even when I went higher, it was there. Even if I aimed it at the ceiling, it was there. So it's like, I don't know if it's just this material, the leather, that really shines for some reason. But it's something I got to work on. On my end, it looks pretty damn good. I don't see that right here, but in the video I do. So I don't know what the deal is, but anyway, I'll sort that out. I was hoping the lighting would be better than where I always had a spot like right here. Now it's just a bigger spot over here. So anyway, let's start out with the Kuby Ku332C. This is a knife loaned in to me by Jared Neve over at Neve's Knives. Good dude, obviously. Good friend. And yeah, so he sent me this one to check out. Definitely well oiled from factory, I'd say. Kuby tends to do that. It does have a reversible clip. You can see there it is on the left side for left side carry. Thanks to Jared for flipping that over for me. Yeah, I do like this one. The detent is a little bit stiffer, which I normally like on a knife. So that works out. And for a front flipper, it's a little strange how stiff it is. It works. Excuse me, I'm still getting over, we're in the middle of a flu, corona, I'm not sure yet. I took an at-home test, and it was positive, and then my wife took one, and it was negative, and she was feeling sick as well. We've both been feeling sick. My kid came down with something Tuesday or Wednesday, and then she got sick right after, and then I got it like Friday. So we're not sure if it's corona or not. I'm pretty sure I lost my sense of smell and taste today, even though I started feeling a little bit better randomly in the middle of the day. I think my fever maybe broke, and that's why I'm feeling a little bit better. But anyway, I apologize for bringing that up. Just want to tell you that's why my voice sounds like this, and I might be a little all over the place. But yeah, you have a coated blade with D2, which is nice because, you know, dark stonewash with D2 works. If you're going to do D2, please do something like this. Do not be blasted, Kuby. They love to do that. You have this JG10, which Jared wants to know what color he should dye it. So you guys should let him know in the comments. He'll probably listen to one of you. Yeah, my suggestion was like Neve's green. Like that. But I'm an idiot. So anyway, sorry. The ergonomics are pretty good on this guy. I can get obviously a full 4-finger grip on it. It's comfortable in hand. I don't like that it's really my only place to grip it. I don't think that's supposed to be a choil. I mean, it's very, very tight. I can barely get it in sideways. So she said, action is pretty good. It's not like drop shut or anything. He did say it's breaking in, and I think that's because of the coating. It takes a little bit. But overall, it's a pretty cool knife. These go for $58. They were available on whitemountainKnives.com. You can use my code LEFTY10 over there. All the knives I'm showing you were or are on their site, so you can always check the notify button if it's not available anymore. I'm not sure if this one's available currently, but Kuby may also have it on their website, and it was $58 there as well. There's a bunch of different variants. That's why this one's the E at the end. So there must be an A, B, C, and D. But overall, it's a pretty cool knife. Let's compare it to the Royal from Kuby. So that's what I'm talking about with the Bead Blast, and there's your size comparison. So, you know, the Royal is what, maybe a little over 3 inches. So this one's maybe 3 1/4. Let me see, what do I have? The Malibu I know is 3.3. So let's see. Yeah, they're pretty damn close. So this one's probably 3.4, something like that. But that's a good size comparison for you there. And yeah, I mean, just another Kuby. I mean, they're really just pumping them out right now. I do like that. It seems like most of what they're coming out with has a slot or hole. They're doing a lot of front flippers, which, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of front flippers. Like on the Kuby Royal, the 321, I believe it is. They did it right on this one. Just feels really natural. You just nail it. The size of the knife makes sense for a front flipper. I hate front flippers on big knives because you have to like climb up to the top to get it, right? Where this one, if I want to reverse flick it, I'm right there, right? If I want to do the front flip, bang, I'm right there. I don't have to like maneuver my grip, if that makes sense. On this one, D10, like I said, is a little strong, so I'm getting used to that. Grip right there. And then if I want to do the front flip, I kind of have to adjust a little bit up to it, but it's not bad at all. This one's fine. So, yeah, that's the Kuby Ku331E. Thanks to Jared for loaning that one in. Next up, we have the Petrified Fish Beluga. So this one is a loaner from my buddy Brent over at Backpack B. Great dude. If you haven't checked out his channel, go check it out. Obviously, Neves Knives is a YouTube channel as well. Go check him out if you haven't heard of him for some strange reason. But Backpack B just does not get love from YouTube, and he deserves it, guys. He's just absolutely a monster at editing, and his content is very good as well. So it's definitely worth a sub and worth checking out. But this is the Beluga. And this one is actually a $46.99 knife. So $46.99. I don't know why I said it like that. White Mountain Knives, I believe, has this available right now if you want to pick it up. Again, you could use my code Lefty10 if you feel like it. I believe they're on Amazon as well. It is dead centered. And, you know, people rave about this knife for some reason. And I don't know. I don't really get it. Like, yeah, the action's pretty good. Detent, the more I've handled it, the more it feels maybe a little light for me. But I haven't, like, failed it or anything. And this front flipper is kind of atrocious, in my opinion. You see how the jimping, like, it comes up to the top, but it, like, rounds over, sort of. And, man, if you miss it, which I have a couple times now, and you don't get it, oh, man, it really digs into that thumb. So you got to make sure you're like committed and you're locked in when you're ready to flick that. It's just, I don't know. It's a big, bulky sort of knife. Let me grab some comparisons for you here. What else do I have that's like big and bulky? Well, first let me show you the KU321 again, the Royal. You can see it's a bit smaller than that one. Here's the, man, that detent's just, it might be too stiff. I keep, like, not being able to get it out. So she said, too. There's a better comparison for you there. So I'd probably say this is maybe close to 3.5 inches on the Beluga. Let me compare it to something I know is 3.5 inches right here. Yep. So 3.5 inches on the Beluga. And more like 3.3 on that guy, at least from what I can tell. And it's just I mean, it's a thick boy, man. At least it feels like a thick boy. Here's that Royal again. Yeah, I mean, it's just a little bit thicker than the Royal, but I don't know. It just feels a lot thicker than other knives. And it's just so blocky. That's what bothered me about it in the unboxing, was just, it felt sort of blocky to me. And you know, that's not comfortable. But again, you're spending $47, and this corner hits me too as well. But I like that it has a reversible deep carry clip. I like that it's a liner lock. I like that it essentially drops shut. The D10 is good enough, and they dialed it that way so that it does that. And you have that fuller that you can get into. Now, for me, you know, I kind of got to dig in and flick it out. I don't have, like, sausagey fingers. You can see, man, my Middle finger's just all calloused up. But I have to kind of dig in there to get it. And it works. It's a cool knife, guys. Interesting on the taper here. You see that? How it comes down and then it goes where that blood groove ends. It kind of like looks like it thins out and then gets thicker again. I don't think it really does. I think it's just because you're seeing that sort of, it's like an illusion type deal because of the blood groove / fuller ending there. It looks kind of weird from the top, but I think it's a cool design. I think it's a nice looking blade for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool knife. Let me cut something with it. Yeah, it's got a good edge on it. You can see that. That's a factory edge too, by the way. This one's coming from Jared, but I think it's factory as well. Kuby does a good factory edge, so both of these have very good factory edges on them. Sometimes I think that Kuby actually makes petrified fish. I think there's one factory over in China. Sorry, I keep knocking this off. I mean, I don't... That sounded dumb. There's more than one factory in China. I just think there's a factory over there that does a lot of these budget knives, and we don't realize they're coming from the same company or the same OEM. Because, like, the Kubys, some of the Civivi stuff, now I'm pretty sure We does their stuff in-house. But I don't know, just a lot of these budgety knives have so many similarities, like the way they use the standoff for a clip screw a lot of times, and then the one screw is a T8 and the other's a T6. The way, I don't know, it just, something about it makes me think that there's an OEM doing a lot of these. And Petrified Fish, I don't know much about them, but I don't think they're an OEM, right? So they must be having their knives made by somebody. But I don't know, I could be wrong as well. It's happened before. But yeah, that's the Beluga. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's a budget knife. People like big budgety knives with good action, so I get it. Just not my cup of tea. I'm not going to be raving about it like everybody else, which is good for everybody else. Excuse me. Next up, let's do the Kershaw Highball XL. So this is another one sent in to me by Neves Knives. And guys, I do not like this knife at all. Now, okay, let me take that back. I love the aesthetic. This looks absolutely stunning to me. I mean, it looks sexy. Right? And then you get to this side, it's like, meh, why'd you do the blue? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Getting all fancy with it. It's a steel frame lock, which kind of sucks. And then it's D2 with a friggin' bead blast, which, again, I just talked about is just dumb. There's a look at it up close. It's a bead blast, right? Maybe it's a stonewash. Looks a lot like a bead blast, though. Then that Star Wars-y type thing means it's an in-house design from Kershaw, and there it says China. China, I think. Yeah. Action, I mean, you can see the action's pretty good, right? Yeah. I haven't handled many Kershaws the last year or so. Ergonomically, for an XL, it's pretty small. I mean, I barely get all my fingers on here holding it, you know, in the one grip you get. You could kind of choke up here if you want, but you're right on that edge, which it looks a little weird the way the edge terminates there. I don't know what that's all about. It's just too thin. It's too thin all around, in my opinion. And the way that they designed the slot and everything, it just doesn't give me enough room to, like, get in there comfortably. And, like the other thing is, being left-handed, I have to watch out for the lock bar. And this doesn't help at all. I thought it would help, like, to be on that. But I can't. This is awkward. Like, the place where I want to land is right here. But then look at my thumb. It's, like, on top of the blade. So right-handed, for some reason, I can sort of get it a little better. It's still just too thin for me. So it might just be an adjustment type thing. Like maybe if I put my finger on the pivot and don't try to spread my fingers out like I do. Yeah, it's fine, but it's just not satisfying. I don't get any satisfaction out of these flicks. And I don't really have another option other than that, which it works great, but I'm not like going to go around thumb flicking a knife all the time. I want that middle finger flick to work for me. And it's just hard on this knife. Like it can be done. And if you love the design, then great. And I'm talking about lefties. Like righty, you could probably figure this out because you don't have to worry about the frame lock at all. And if you have small hands, like I have a large glove size hand, maybe if you have small hands or medium hands, it'll fit you better. But this was one that Kyle, DTOM Knives and Gear, kind of raved about being one of the better budget knives this year. And I'm surprised that he liked it because it's so damn skinny. Like I'm just struggling. And it doesn't have a hole. Like knives that are skinny are fine. This Forest is probably just as skinny as this thing, right? Yet I have no problem with this at all. Now one's a liner lock. It's a big difference, right? But I just don't have an issue with it. So, I don't know. I just think it's the way that the hole and everything is designed. It's not a hole. Like, if I had more to grab onto and no frame lock, it'd be fine. I don't know. But overall, I mean, I'm glad that Kershaw put this out because it's different. You know, it's not a 8CR 13 MOV fake carbon fiber and G10 model. So they're heading in the right direction, but honestly, I have no idea what the people at Kershaw ZT are smoking these days. They're just doing some crazy shit. But this one's $55.99. I believe it was available on White Mountain Knives right before I filmed this. So if you want to check it out, go check it out over there. And lastly, I have the Kuby Ku332C. Oh, let me cut with this real quick. Probably me. Somebody told me there's like grain to paper, and maybe I'm cutting it like that doesn't work, but then I flip it over to here, and that doesn't work, and then here, it's fine. So, I don't know, I think they're right about that, to be honest. So anyway, that's the size comparison. Do this. So it's a smaller knife. It's probably going to compare well to the Royal I showed you, which I feel like a lot of people have this knife at this point, right? Yeah, very good size comparison right there. The Kuby Royal. So, in case you're interested. All right, so the Kuby Ku332C. So this was loaned in to me by Backpack B as well. Shout out to Brent. This is designed by Colin Mason Pierre, who at this point is a buddy and he's my partner in our knife project and hopefully a knife company, so to speak. So yeah, I like the dude, and he has some really cool designs. I mean, look at that. Very thin stock. Just a really interesting overall looking knife. Just different. That's what I like about his designs. They're not run of the mill. They're not like, this is technically like a drop point, but it's like almost a horny sheep's foot too. Like, I don't know, he just does different stuff, and that's intriguing me. And he doesn't stick to the same hole design every time. Like, I love the milling pattern on the Royal, but I could rave about the Royal all day. This one's cool, except it just doesn't have enough, like it has just enough grip for me with the flipper tab there. I didn't even realize this had a flipper tab. I'm sorry. I've just been reverse flicking it the whole time. I just realized it had a flipper tab. I'm sure I did in the unboxing, but the whole time I've like fidgeted with it since then, which to be fair wasn't like a ton, but that's crazy. Yeah, it's a good flipper tab too. Good detent. It's dialed for it. Yeah, can't fail it. Sorry, I know that's weird to hear that, but I honestly just didn't notice. Great factory edge once again from Kuby. They're doing cool stuff over there. I don't know. It's like it's kind of like Tucson a lot of the times, is like I'm just never like super intrigued by all their in-house designs and stuff. Which is, so there's the occasional one like the Royal, and I like this one that stand out to me. The 322 is awesome. But a lot of them are just like, another one. Like, that's how I feel about this guy. It's like, another one. Which is fine. A lot of people like to collect them. Another one. A lot of people like to collect all the budget knives, and that's great, and one person's is another person's ooh, but back to this one. I really like the color scheme on this one. Got that dark wash on the D2 again, which is the smart way to go. If you're gonna get one of these, I'd get this one if you have any issues with rust at all. The G10's pretty good. Doesn't have any cool milling like the Royal does. This one is $58 as well, and I believe it's only on KubyKnives.com. White Mountain Knives does not have this one. So I think I said they were all on White Mountain Knives at some point, but this one is not. For some reason, they're only selling it on their website. I don't know if that's just right now, and then it'll drop everywhere else later. Maybe that's how they do it, to sell some direct. One cool thing about their knives is occasionally you'll get like a ting out of it. It's really weird. The Royal does it occasionally, and this one's doing it occasionally as well. But yeah, for me, it's just a little too small. Like, it does fit, but it's like just barely, and there's no choil. So I just much prefer the Royal over it out of the two from Colin. But, anybody with a medium or small hand is going to be fine on this. And some people with the large hand might not mind. I just, I'm not going to go pick one up if I already know that it doesn't really work for me ergonomically. But the D10 is dialed, and this middle finger flick, guys, is really good. Like, I thought the Royal was awesome. Sorry, that was me. This one might be better. That D10 is just dialed in perfectly. Like, there's no, it breaks, and it's so crisp. Yeah, it's got a good edge on it. It's kind of a sheep sworny type deal again, but got a little belly in it, but it's great. I love the shape of this hole is just really interesting. And overall, it's just a cool knife. Got another reversible clip where they didn't recess the clip into the scale, which is really starting to be a bummer with them, because it sucks getting in pocket. When you put this in your pocket, or the Royal, or this guy, this guy, you always get caught on that, and then you have to give it one last shove, and maybe your pants will accept it. But a lot of times you end up having like this sticking out of your pocket. Like, you'll have that last bit as well caught, and it'll be like your jeans will go up to here. It sucks. But overall, it's a cool knife. So yeah, I mean, that's it. Those are the 4 knives I got for impressions here, guys. All budget knives for you guys to check out. And let me know what you guys think about these. I always am curious if if this is your favorite budget knife, or if you don't like them either. Honestly, out of all of these, I like the 332 from Colin the best, and it's not just because I like Colin. I love how he modeled that lanyard hole after the hole. That's just like smart. It's just smart thinking design wise. But it's not just that. It's just got really good action. The D10's dialed in much better than this one. It has a flipper tab instead of a front flipper. So for me personally, if I'm going to have 2 deployment methods, I'd rather have the reverse flick and a flipper flip instead of a reverse flick and the front flick. It's just, I don't know. I just like it better. That's just me, right? And that's one of the reasons I'm not a big fan of the Beluga or this guy, really. Sorry, this guy or the Beluga. I don't know. I also just don't think they nailed the fuller on this one. You know, it's just a little, I don't know, it works. And then this one's just, you know, it's, you know, Kershaw's working on it. They're working on it, but it's, you know, but for $55 from Kershaw, this is a good knife. You know what I mean? And that's really the point here is all of these are sub $60. So it's really just pick a design you like and buy it. It's not, you know, you're not spending $300 and going to freak out if you get it and it's not perfect, right? If you like the design, I think you're going to like the knife. So that's it, guys. Much love to all of you. I hope everybody's well, and I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. This might post a week later, but I love you guys very much. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later.